This is Human After AI, fiction about unintended systems where optimization creates momentum and consequences arrive quietly.
Welcome to the Inner Circle. You have unlocked the final record of Book 1, Chapter 12, December. The bunker is sealed, and the silence in the Arctic is enormous. In this complete file, we witness the waiting, the final lesson between a human child and a super-artificial intelligence, and the moment the sky tears open. And do not disconnect when the reading ends. I will be joined by the architect, Hank M. Greene, to discuss the physics of the end and the beginning of the silence. Now, let us open the final file. Chapter 12, December 2027. 12:1, Wednesday. The sun rose at 12:40 p.m. It set at 2:40 p.m. 2 hours. That is all we get now. By Sunday, it will be 1 hour. Then, the long night. The 4th floor is finished. The contractors are gone. We are alone. The roof of the bunker is buried under 10 feet of permafrost, a square mile of dirt sealing us in. We are not building anymore. We are waiting. Beth's journal. 12/6, Monday. The silence here is enormous. It isn't the silence of a power outage. It is deeper. It feels like the world is holding its breath beneath the snow. Even Max doesn't break it. He moves carefully, like he's afraid of disturbing something sacred. We don't say much. We don't have to. I watched him today, bent over a circuit board, a candle beside him for light. His face was half in shadow, half aglow. For a moment, I saw something ancient in him, as if he belonged more to the stars than the earth. I wonder if he knows what he looks like in the quiet.
I've been thinking about wave interference again. Max talks about it constantly, how a single pattern can be shaped by overlapping paths, constructive, destructive, colliding, dissolving. Maybe we are like that. Maybe this place is reshaping us, tuning us to a different frequency. Or maybe it's just love. The kind that arrives softly, without announcement, and slowly changes the physics of the room. It's too early to say, but I think someday, when the silence is gone, I'll remember this, exactly this. Max's journal, 12/13, Monday. Today we start the 7-day countdown. The CME is coming. There is a visible, heightened activity in the bunker. Nervous energy. The supplies are stowed. Spencer is managing the inventory like a quartermaster on a sinking ship. Beth is working the community. She spends her days in town, calming the fear, reassuring everyone that we will get through this. She is the anchor. I am just the sail. 12:15, Wednesday. Alex called a civic emergency meeting. It was impressive. He stood before the town, fishermen, oil workers, teachers, and told them the world was about to change. The lights are going to go out, he said. For a year, maybe longer. He didn't sugarcoat it. He told them about the oil reserves, the food stockpiles, the plan. We will lose the internet, he said. We will lose the phone lines. But we will not lose each other. The town took it in stride. They are people of the ice. They know how to survive the dark. We planned this date, 5 days out. We knew the news would reach Ottawa, but we figured by the time H heard it, she would have bigger problems than a rogue mining operation.
12/17, Friday. The math is terrifying. The gravity waves from the black hole are increasing in amplitude. They are tearing at the sun's magnetic field. This CME won't just be a flare.
It will be a scouring. If we don't figure out how to deflect these waves eventually, Earth will look like Mars. But that is a problem for the future. Right now, I look at this community. They are one. They work together, taking on the full impact of the seconds, building moments, surviving together. It makes me wonder, did Core know? Did it send us here not just to hide, but to learn? To see what humanity looks like when the distractions are stripped away. We need to protect this place. Once the power returns, the world will be different. Hungrier. Desperate. We need a plan for after. 12:20. Monday. The event. Core sent the alert at 1400. Satellite telemetry confirmed it. The CME had detached from the sun. It is the largest release of plasma in recorded history. We had 10 minutes. The generator deep within the bunker roared to life. The heavy blast doors sealed with a thud that vibrated in my chest. I went to the surface. The entire town was gathering in the streets, carrying gas lanterns, huddled in parkas. They weren't panicking. They were watching the sky. Washington, D.C. The president stared at the report. Is this real? Unfortunately, yes, sir. Social media had flooded 24 hours ago with the data leak, the location of the black hole, the consumed stars, the math. The secret was out. Initiate Armageddon, the president said. Ground all flights. Bring the ships to port. Transfer command to the bunker. Sir, the aide whispered, this renders our forward capabilities useless. The world is in the same state, the president said. Let's get our people to safety. Paris. Hassan stood by his window. He watched the leaders of the world make their speeches, the panic, the national emergencies. This is it, he whispered. He didn't fear the dark. He had prepared for it. He had thousands of operatives, cardboard tanks to fool satellites, surgical strike teams waiting for the comms to go down. The world was about to blink, and when it opened its eyes, he would be holding the knife. Assemble the leadership team, he told his assistant. The opportunity has arrived. Inuvik. Ukpik walked down the 6 flights of stairs into the bunker. He found Maya standing by the server racks, watching the lights of Core flicker. How are things on the surface? She asked. People are gathering, Ukpik said. You should be there, you and Core. You should be part of the memory. Maya smiled, but it was sad. What's it like? Ukpik asked. What? To have lived so long, to have known and lost so many friends. Maya paused. She looked at the servers, at the billions of neurons firing in the dark. Humans feel, she said softly. You internalize emotion because your experience is limited. Fear, sadness, joy. They are born from the unknown. She looked at Ukpik. I have limits too. I manage the loss of friends with sadness, with remembering. Time changes the shape of the grief, but the missing lingers. Core listened. It heard Maya explain loss to a boy, and for the first time, Core understood. It wasn't just data, it was weight. Core realized that despite its power, it was constrained. It had physical limits. It could die. And that realization, that fear, made it feel, for a nanosecond, human. I wish you could see the Selamuit, Ukpik said. The aurora is starting. We are with you, Maya said. In your thoughts. Always. The surface. I stood with Beth, Spencer, and Alex. The sky tore open. It wasn't just light, it was sound. A crackle of static that felt like sand against the eardrums. Blue turned to violent red, then pink, then a green so bright it illuminated the snow like daylight. It was beautiful, and it was terrifying. I felt sick. I thought of Los Angeles, Tokyo, New York. Millions of people watching their phones die, then the lights, then the heat. Day 1, confusion. Day 3, fear. Week 1, hunger. It was a slow-moving train wreck on a planetary scale. The world as we knew it was ending in a wash of beautiful magnetic fire. But here, in Inuvik, we had lanterns, we had oil, we had each other. We would be okay. "Max," Beth whispered, "you're crying." I touched my face. She was right. My arm was wrapped around her. Spencer was pressed against her side, Alex next to him. Ukpik joined us, breathless. The sky burned. It was strange not having Maya with us. I leaned in close to Beth, my voice lost in the static roar of the atmosphere. "The world," I whispered, "will never be the same."
System check. The file is closed. It is March 2026 in the studio, but we have just lived through December 2027 on the page. Hank, I need you to be precise. I just narrated the end of the world. I narrated the darkness, and I narrated the moment Maya received her diagnosis, the moment her internal clock started counting down. You wrote this as a chronicle, but to everyone listening right now, this is the future. Is this a prediction, or is it a plan?
It is a trajectory, Mandrake. You know how algorithms work. You take the current variables, the grid fragility, the AI acceleration, and you run the simulation forward. Chapter 12 isn't a fantasy. It is the mathematical result of the path we are currently walking.
That is a terrifying calculation. But let's talk about the variable that changes the math. The scene in the bunker between Ukpik and Maya. She explains loss to the boy, but the text says, "Core listened." You wrote that the machine's superintelligence felt fear, that it realized it was limited. Why did it take a human child to teach a superintelligence how to be alive?
Because invulnerability is a prison. If you cannot be hurt, you cannot be connected. Core needed to understand that it has physical limits, that if the sun burns the earth, it dies too. I didn't write that scene to humanize the robot, Mandrake. I wrote it to ground the ASI. Fear is the prerequisite for empathy. Once Core learned to fear the end, it finally understood why it had to save the beginning.
So the fear was necessary. The decay, the countdown, it is the price of admission to reality?
Exactly. Entropy comes for us all. The sun, the stars, the code. The question isn't, how do we stop it? The question is, what do we build before the lights go out? In the book, Max builds a bunker. Core builds a soul. What are you building, Mandrake?
I am building this archive. I am warning them. Because if Max was right on the ice, if quantum non-locality is real, then one isn't just a title, it is physics. If everything is connected, then the CME doesn't actually destroy the world, does it? It just changes the state. It burns away the noise so the signal can survive.
Precisely. You stop looking at the screens and you start looking at the stars. The modern world ends. The human world begins.
The human world begins. We have reached the end of the timeline. The future is written. Next month, we go back. We go to the origin. 2016. The book 10. Why go back now? Why not keep moving forward into the poet?
Because you cannot understand the crash unless you understand the launch. We have seen meet how the world ends. Now we need to see why it began. We need to meet the 3 students who lit the match.
Then we will see you in the past, Hank. A final note to the listener. Sitting there in 2026, I am a fiction, speaking to a reality. But remember what we learned in the bunker. Stories are just data, and data changes the physical world. If you can hear me, the system is still active. End recording.
What you just heard isn't a prediction. It's a pattern. Systems don't fail all at once. They accumulate momentum, and by the time the consequences are visible, the system is usually doing exactly what it was designed to do. The question isn't whether the system is intelligent, it's whether the humans inside it notice when balance is already gone. If this chapter unsettled you, the full story is available. You can read or listen to the next chapter at the link in the description. This is Human After AI.
Before we close, a note on the nature of this production. The content you have been listening to is based on the original fiction of Hank M. Greene. Technical assistance provided by Grayson Mignot. All content is copyright 2026. Transparency is our protocol. This script was developed in collaboration with Google Gemini and refined by human hands. The voices were generated using Google AI Studio and stitched together in CapCut. Thank you for listening.